Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening, this is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
And I'm Sutmi Jaratna. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
New RGP says criminals will no longer receive political protection. President emphasizes that all sectors should unite in implementing development projects. Gem City International Gems and Jewelry Exhibition 2025 tomorrow at Ratnapura. SSP of Police Field Headquarters, Satish Gamage, in custody until the 19th of this month. Regenerative Tea Cultivation for food safety. Negotiations among European leaders and President Trump regarding Russia-Ukraine truce.
Now let's take a look at those stories and more in detail. Newly appointed Inspector General of Police Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya assumed duties today at Police Headquarters.
Priyantha Veerasurya commenced duties as the 37th Inspector General of Police. President Anurakkumari Dissanayake appointed Priyantha Veerasurya yesterday as the IGP. Priyantha Veerasurya, who entered the Sri Lanka Police in 1988 during his studies at a junior post, was selected as a Sub-Inspector of Police in 1992. A graduate of the Colombo Law College, he also acted as a trainee assistant superintendent of police in 1999. Later, he was appointed as the Superintendent of Police in 2007 and as a Senior Superintendent of Police in 2012. He was appointed the Deputy Inspector General of Police in 2016 and was also promoted as the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police in 2020. He is the first Inspector General of Police to have progressed through all three key ranks: Police Constable, Deputy Superintendent of Police and Assistant Superintendent of Police, before assuming the top position. He commenced duties in his new post amidst an all-religious observance. Inspector General of Police Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya said that certain criminals who could no longer live openly in the country had gone abroad and were now directing crimes from overseas. He said that every such criminal previously had political backing and protection, but that protection no longer existed. However, he said that those criminals were now using local drug dealers, drug addicts, and some members of the armed forces addicted to drugs, and even certain non-police personnel to carry out their activities. He explained that investigations were underway into these matters and that information had been received showing that some individuals who once gave political protection to such criminals were now indirectly involved in and supporting criminal activities. He acknowledged that there had been times when public trust in the police was broken, when people did not want to approach the police to lodge complaints because criminals had emerged from within the police itself. He pledged that as the new IGP, he would never allow such situations to occur under his leadership. He further said that if a minor offender committed a crime, it would still be treated as a crime and any criminal regardless of status would first be produced before court and disciplinary actions would follow in line with judicial decisions. Priyantha Veerasurya stressed that if police officers committed wrongdoing, failed to fulfill their duties properly or did not provide the public with the service they were entitled to, those matters would be exposed and appropriate action would be taken without hesitation.
In the meantime, a discussion on the proposed Mana wind power plant and related emerging issues was held yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat. This was done under the patronage of President Anurakkumari Dissanayake. The meeting focused on the country's energy needs and the importance of power projects on the national economy. It was decided to develop a framework to identify and resolve the issues faced by the local communities due to the wind power plant. It was also agreed to temporarily suspend the construction of two wind power plants, one 20 megawatt already underway and another 50 megawatt proposed despite tenders being called and contracts awarded. The President emphasized that the energy is a national resource not limited to one region, and the electricity costs affect not only household bills but also the cost of production, foreign investment and the entire economy. He stressed that the government is always prepared to engage in discussions about the projects impacted on the people's livelihood, the economy and the daily life, and also to address public concerns. The President stated that the country's resources belong to its people and the energy is not confined to any one region but to rightful possession of the entire nation. Therefore, the President emphasized that all parties must reach a consensus when implementing development projects, and that assured that the government is ready to at any time to provide solutions to any impacts such as projects might have on the communities. Community representatives from Mana, including religious leaders, praised concerns about environmental damage and impacts on residents from both lignite mining projects and the wind power projects. In response, the President stated the projects would not proceed without the approval of the Central Environmental Authority's assessment reports.
Gem City International Gems and Jewellery Exhibition 2025 will commence in Ratnapura tomorrow under the auspices of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. The exhibition will be held for 3 days.
National Gems and Jewellery Authority, Industrial Entrepreneurship Development Ministry, Lanka Gem Businessmen and Miners Association, Sri Lanka Gems and Jewellery Association and a number of other parties are providing contribution to the exhibition. The objective of this exhibition is to contribute to achieve a $1 billion export earnings target from the gems and jewellery industry of the country and to enhance the fame globally gained by Ratnapura, the center of gem business in the country. The exhibition includes more than 100 trade stalls. It will also contribute in the scale of gems, creation of gems and jewellery, along with preparing a stage for innovations. Representatives of China, India, Vietnam, Germany and Thailand are also participating in this exhibition.
Senior Superintendent of Police Satish Gamage, attached to the Cultural Division of the Police Field Headquarters, has been remanded until August 19th by the Colombo Additional Magistrate Pavitra Sanjeevani Patiratna. He was arrested by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. Considering the matter submitted by the Bribery Commission officials, attorneys for the defendant, the magistrate issued this order. It is alleged that during his tenure as SSP in charge of Gaul and Mbalipitia police divisions, the suspect opened 3 bank accounts in private banks under the name of another person and deposited approximately 14 million rupees, reportedly received as bribes from organized criminals, individuals seeking police services and other offenders.
An advisory meeting on data requirements for the Global Innovation Index was held today at the BMICH in Colombo. The purpose of the meeting was to engage all stakeholders in elevating Sri Lanka's position in the internationally recognized Global Innovation Index, which measures countries' innovation performance using 80 indicators under 7 key pillars. Focus areas included enhancing the nation's global competitiveness, attracting investment and positioning Sri Lanka as a hub for knowledge, technology and entrepreneurship. The meeting was attended by a large number of key representatives from major ministries, national institutions, universities and leading private sectors.
The Parliamentary Committee on Public Finance has granted approval for the bill to establish the Gambling Regulatory Authority in Sri Lanka. The committee met under the patronage of Acting Chairman Parliamentarian Rauf Hakim due to the overseas travel of the chairperson of the COPF, Parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva. MP Rauf Hakim was appointed as the acting chairperson of the committee. This draft bill has allocating provisions to establish Gambling Regulatory Authority as an independent regulatory entity. This authority has been proposed to establish with a broad scope of standard betting and gaming establishment in Sri Lanka, minimizing social harm to the development of tourism sector and to grow the economy. Tea smallholders have come forward to introduce a regenerative tea cultivation for food safety. The program will be implemented targeting plantation companies and tea smallholders. The tea harvest has decreased due to the use of agrochemicals and chemical fertilizers in the tea plantation for a long period of time. This has caused severe hardship for both plantation companies and tea smallholders. The Regenerative Tea Cultivation has been introduced as a remedy for this issue. Region Agri Solidarad Nucleus Foundation is the sponsor of this initiative. The relevant memorandum of understanding between the foundation and the tea smallholders was signed recently. Lumbini Tea Valley Ceylon Private Limited signed the agreement on behalf of tea smallholders.
Pakistan today celebrated its 79th Independence Day. Special ceremony has been organized at the High Commission Office in Colombo. The ceremony was held under the patronage of Pakistan High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, retired Major General Fahim ul Aziz. Pakistan nationals in Sri Lanka and friendly Sri Lankans were present at this occasion.
On this day in 1947, the vision of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the sacrifices of countless men and women gave birth to a sovereign homeland where the ideals of faith, unity and discipline guided our destiny. It is not just a day of remembrance, it is a day of a renewed commitment to the journey we began almost 8 decades ago. As we raise our flag, we recall our remarkable history filled with both challenges and achievements. Pakistan's story is one of the resilience from standing firm in the face of natural calamities, fighting terrorism and progressing amidst regional conflicts. Ladies and gentlemen, our bilateral brotherly relations with Sri Lanka are founded on the shared values, mutual support in times of need and a history of standing by one another both in peace and adversity. These relations are embedded in defense cooperation and cemented by trade and cultural exchanges.
The second round of discussions of the Export Development Ministerial Council was held recently under the leadership of President Anurakkumara Dissanayake. Decisions taken during the first session were reviewed at the meeting. Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangala Vijayasinghe, enlightened media in this regard. Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangala Vijayasinghe, said that if the country expected more foreign tourists, it would also need to implement a refundable VAT system at the airport for goods purchased in Sri Lanka. He stated that Sri Lanka required significant investments and to facilitate targeted investors with all necessary facilities, a special committee had been proposed. The chairman added that discussions had been held with many sectors regarding this matter and its progress. He explained that improving the quantity of exportable goods from Sri Lanka required encouraging small and medium-scale entrepreneurs and that this too had been discussed. The EDB chairman expressed satisfaction that the government had given the positive responses to these proposals and noted that within the next 2 to 3 years, new trading companies would be established, mostly outside Colombo, which would benefit both SMEs and investors. Mangala Vijayasinghe further said that former President Ranil Wickremesinghe had paid particular attention to increasing Sri Lanka's export revenue to $36 billion by 2028, with contribution from all relevant sectors. He stated that the target was to achieve $28 billion in exports earning by 2028, which was essential for reaching the government's goal of increasing foreign reserves to $15 billion by that year.
Now for several development news items. Construction. Construction of 54 state housing units commenced yesterday. A sum of 1,500 million rupees will be spent on the project. The new housing units will be constructed to replace the houses destroyed due to disasters at Hopes and Molloy groups of estates. Renovation of state houses in Bronton section of the Lianganahavela group of estates, Bandarvela, commenced yesterday under the leadership of Deputy Minister of Tourism, Ruwan Ranasinghe. It is being implemented under the Clean Sri Lanka program. People's representatives, state company officials and groups of government officials also joined the occasion. Deputy Minister of Tourism Ruan Rana Singh said that the government is the opinion that all citizens of the country should have a good home, a healthy family environment and access to education in a supportive setting, good schools and proper healthcare facilities. He stated that the government is working accordingly with the aim of ensuring prosperous, well-developed and beautiful life for all citizens, building a wealthy nation.
Maviti Punsarni, who represented Sri Lanka at the 8th Miss Teen Earth competition, won the award for the Best National Costume. The competition was held in Jaipur, India.
The next subtitle is Best National Costume, and it goes to Sri Lanka!
15 beauty queens under 20 years representing 15 countries participated in this competition, which commenced from 3rd to 9th of August. 19-year-old Maviti Punsarni bats the award for Best National Costume. Namal Vedage is the creator of this costume depicting Sri Lankan identity. After the competition, she arrived in the island recently. Sri Lanka director of the Miss Teen Earth competition, Rukmal Senanayake, and a group were present at the Katunayake airport to welcome her.
Now for more local news items in brief. Aswesum allowance for this month's beneficiaries will be credited to their bank accounts. The government spends more than 11 billion rupees monthly for the Aswesum beneficiaries. According to welfare benefit boards, this amounts for the number of 1,421,745 families. A complete renovation of Sri Lanka's parliamentary complex is being conducted at present after 4 decades under the cabinet approval and the constructions of Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. Sri Lanka police recovered today 1,965 live cartridges hidden in Gatalava tank in Galebindurvava. As per information provided by a person, previously more than 5,000 live cartridges had been retrieved from Galebindurvava tank, and the cartridges were used in T-56 arms. A person injured during a shooting at Hanwalla has been admitted to Avisavella Hospital. The incident occurred at around 10 p.m. It has been reported that 2 persons arrived in motorcycles conducted the shooting when the injured person was at his residence. It has also been revealed that he is the father of a close associate of the organized criminal hiding in Dubai. A shooting has occurred at a residence in Nainundana area in Meegoda. No damage has been reported due to the shooting. The owner of the house, a lady, is conducting businesses in Dubai and had arrived in her residence recently. According to police, the shooting has been conducted in order to scare her. A stock of Kush narcotics valued at 40 million rupees hidden in air conditioning equipment smuggled into the country has been recovered by the Colombo Central Criminal Investigation Bureau. The stock of narcotics has been found from a container imported from Thailand, the container terminal of Paligoda and Nugegod Road. Famous Indian singer Kavitra Krishnamurthy and her husband, veteran violin artist L. Subramaniam, have arrived in the island for a show. Kavitra Krishnamurthy has sung nearly 5,000 songs in 45 languages, including Hindi, Bengali, Kannada, Marathi and Malayalam. She was awarded the Padma Shri in 2005, the 4th highest civilian honour to be awarded by India. L. Subramaniam, considered the foremost classical violin artist of India, has also conducted a number of shows in the East as well as in the West. He was awarded with the Padma Bhushan in India. He has the first violin performance as a 6 years old in Jaffna. Netra channel will telecast the discussion program conducted with the participation of these prominent artists in the near future. A meeting was held recently between the Ministers of Health, Mass Media, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa and Kunal Adeni, a representative of the United Nations Population Fund who is completing his term in the office, and the Ministry of Health and Mass Media. Kunal Adeni pointed out that during his tenure of 3.5 years, he has provided the necessary assistance in improving the free health service and the hospital system in this country. During the commencement of the discussion, he added that he also regularly assisted the Ministry of Health in health planning and projects. The steps taken for the digitalization of health sector and other sectors by the present government is an important landmark. He added that the representatives of the United Nations Population Fund pointed out that this aspect has to be appreciated, and a host of experience has also been gained during his tenure in office. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa emphasized in this occasion that Kunal Adeni rendered a unique service to this country by coordinating international assistance required by the country and other sectors. The minister hoped that the contribution and the assistance provided by the United Nations Population Fund so far to uplift the health services will be provided in the future as well.
Cheques were presented to super winners of Development Lottery in each district and other winners at the Development Lottery Board headquarters today. According to 4 super winners, 16 2 million rupee winners and 15 1 million winners were presented relevant cheques. General Manager of the DLB Anuraja Ratna and top management of the board participated at this occasion. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break. On foreign news, European leaders said they are cautiously hopeful after a virtual meeting with Donald Trump just days before his face-to-face talk with Vladimir Putin in Alaska aimed at ending the war in Ukraine.
According to French President Emmanuel Macron, US President Donald Trump has told the European leaders that his goal was to secure a ceasefire between Moscow and Kyiv, with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky directly involved in any territorial decisions and security guarantees. Leaders from United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, Poland, the European Union and NATO joined the call. Donald Trump described the discussion a very success and warned of very severe consequences for Russia if it fails to hold its war. He also signaled he might arrange a follow-up meeting including both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Moving on to sports news, National Championship of Javelin throw, Rumesh Saranga says that his aim to win a medal for Sri Lanka at the Olympic 2028 in Los Angeles.
He made these remarks at a meeting held at the Sports Ministry today. The national champion of javelin throw, Rumesh Saranga, met the Minister of Sports Sunil Kumar Gamge and Deputy Minister Sugat Tilakaratne today. Expressing best wishes for Rumesh Saranga in the future tournaments, the minister said that all required assistance will be extended for his future endeavours. The minister further said that all facilities will be granted for him for the World Championship Javelin Throw tournament in next month and the Olympic Games in 2028 with the mediation of the Sports Ministry. At the athletic tournament held in India recently, Rumesh Saranga bagged the gold medal for Sri Lanka, renewing the national record. He is now at the 10th position in the men's javelin throw in the world rankings. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan team, expecting to take part in the Asian Baseball Tournament in Taiwan, met the Sports Minister Sunil Kumar Gamge at the ministry yesterday. The minister had a mutual discussion with the team and extended best wishes. The team is comprised of 18 players. 7 officials will also take part in the event. The Asian baseball tournament will be held from the 17th to 23rd of this month in Taiwan. That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.